Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won. For all things Miami, it's Dolphins Thursday.
Hello, Miami Dolphin fans. How are you? Welcome to our show. And as we're just going live here, we got a special guest that popped in the background. I'm going to bring him in a minute. But before I do that, Steve, as always, welcome. Tell us where they can find you every Tuesday night.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. They can find me on Real Talk, Fins Talk on the Fins Talk Sports Network every Tuesday night at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And if you're here in Texas or on Central Time, you can catch us at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. So thank you, Rob. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. And you will be at practice tomorrow. But the man right under us, he was at the practice today. So, Mike, welcome to the show. And where can they find you on your own show?
You can follow us. First of all, thank y'all for having me. Bottoms up, Fins up. We'll be back in a couple weeks with some incredible content coming. We'll go live every Thursday at 8 o'clock. I'm excited to talk some Dolphins football with y'all.
All right. Sounds
great,
good.
man.
So before we get into tomorrow, Mike, so what do you see out there today with the Dolphins joint practices, the good, the bad, and the ugly that you saw?
Yeah, other than it being hot.
Yeah, we were out there at like 7:30 this morning. It was hot.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm going there tomorrow morning. What do you recommend? What time I get there and where do I park and all that good stuff?
Yeah, for sure. So they have parking. You're looking for the purple lot, and then you enter through the teal lot. I would get there. Gates open at 8. You want to get there as close to 8 as you can because they have really cool standing room only. That there's 2 different fields. So you have like the main field, and then you have like a secondary field.
Okay.
And the way they did it today was split. They did offense, defense work on both fields. So it's cool to move between each side. But if you want to we were within probably 10 feet of the guys working. So yeah, you want to make sure you get there as close to 8 as you can. That's when gates open. Practice starts.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
Do they have seating? We got a Dolphins facility. It's all like seating, nights covered seating and all that.
Yeah, it's all covered. Yeah, everything's covered. They have a really cool hospitality tent that we were in there today with food and drinks and everything like that. Texans do a good job. Being a Dolphins, there is a ton of Dolphins fans. I don't know what it's going to be like tomorrow, but what's really cool is you have joint practice today, joint practice tomorrow, game Saturday, and then there's actually an autograph show here on Sunday. Zach Thomas is signing, and I'm happy to shoot you guys the link. But I think he's signing at 12:30 at a show here in town. So literally the next 5 days is all.
So it's kind of like a Miami Dolphin weekend in Houston.
That would be great.
I'm here in South Florida, but Steve, you're out there.
So right. Where's it going to be, Mike? Do you know?
Yeah. Give me 1 second, and I can actually plug it. I got the flyer here.
That would be nice.
So yeah, let me see here. Okay. So it's the Houston, it's by GTS Sports Marketing.
Okay.
So it's called the Houston Summer 2023 Autograph Sports Card Show. So it's at 9401 Knight Road, KNIGHT, Bayou City Event Center. So it's going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And as of right now, Zach Thomas is signing on Sunday at 12:30.
Sounds good. I'm going to try to make that.
I'm going to be there on Sunday for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually pretty reasonable too. I think from what I saw, I think it's like $125 for a full-size helmet or jersey, $69 for a picture, and then I think $99 for a mini helmet, which is
that's not bad because some of these young guys are already charging over $100 for their autograph.
100%. No, this is we collect autographs and helmets and stuff like that, so this is ridiculously cheap. Thomas, for a guy who's going, in the Hall of Fame.
So, hell yeah.
Yeah. It's It's awesome out there. So anyway, Mike, let's get back to football today. So what do you see out there? Like I said, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Anything that concerns you, makes you think we're going to kick butt and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So the first thing is, what's his name? Teron Armstead might be the biggest man I've ever seen. Like up close and personal. Like, I'm not kidding. I mean, you think he's big, and then you see him, and it's like, oh my God, like this guy. I mean, he's just built like a freaking house. Him and Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips had a sensational day today. I mean, they couldn't stop him. I mean, he was literally unguardable for most of it. I will say, I think that from what everyone's seen, this pick six that Jalen Petrie had on Tua is so overblown. Like, I saw it live. They scored on the play before. Nobody's talking about that. Travis Wingfield, I think, tweeted it.
Yeah.
The Dolphins would have scored on the play before. And it's so funny because, you know, they're talking about it being trend setting for this Texans team. They're awful. Like, they are a bad football team. They are good. The Dolphins would have had, I'm not kidding, probably 20 sacks today if this was a real game.
All right.
Like, we live here in Houston, and it's so funny that they're grasping for straws. Tua looked great. It's preseason. Everyone freaking out about preseason football or what they see in joint practices. Sorry, you need to get a life, is the way I feel about it. Because it's all just conjecture. They're trying different things. Cedric Wilson was out there. He's not going to get much run. Even the Christian Wilkins, we were 15 feet from Christian Wilkins today. I love the story. It broke while we were there. Like, we're staring at Christian Wilkins, and they're like, the Bleacher Report made it sound like Christian Wilkins isn't even with the team. I'm like, no, he's right here. He warmed up with the team, and he's standing on the sidelines with his helmet on.
Rooting for them, I hear. He was like,
yeah, you've got McDaniel saying, we want to get it done. Wilkins wants to get it done. You didn't sign Dalvin Cook. Go get it done.
Yeah.
So the Dolphins didn't even have Gaskin didn't practice today. Jalen Waddle didn't practice today. Berrios was out there, but not really. Durham Smythe had a phenomenal catch towards the end of practice. They did some scrimmaging, but not a ton. Today, I think, was more like drills and things like that. CJ Stroud, okay. Davis Mills is the worst quarterback I've ever seen live, and that's not. But yeah, I mean, overall, like they're having fun. Like, from what I saw, you know, the vibe is really good right now. Xavier Howard is a beast too. Like, up close and personal, he's got some of the biggest legs I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, so that's good. And I think he's going to have a bounce back year. You know, I think he's going to be a beneficiary of
for sure
Fangio's defense.
Yeah, they about Fangio.
They say Raekwon Davis is huge too.
Raekwon Davis is a mountain of a man.
He is. He's so huge. Can't play softball, but he's huge. I was at the charity softball game. It's like he's swinging logs, basically. So it's kind of hard to swing a baseball bat.
Yeah, so. The kid, who is it? Sili, S-I-L-I, the defensive tackle who made some noise against Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
The Samoan first.
Oh, Peely?
Sorry. Yeah. P-I-L-I. He's not big, but he's stout. Like, he's like he's an anchor on that defensive line.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, Vic Fangio, bar none, is the best pickup of the offseason.
Oh, I agree 100% with you, Mike, on that. Yeah.
They're not talking enough about Fangio because seeing him up close and personal is so much different than just hearing about him. Like, there's things that he's doing that are just I've never seen before. And I'm not a football coach. I'm just a fan. Like, my, Pops and I were there as fans. You know what I mean? So, we watch dime versus nickel, like things like I watched the drills and watching Fangio work and Sam Madison. Sam Madison was there working with the guys. Kader Kohu was there.
Did he play today? Kohu?
He was out there. He was out there. Yeah, he was out there. He was working. He wasn't out there. When you get out there, Steve, it's really difficult to get a good, how do I say this? I mean, you're in a massive area with a lot of guys. So, like, you're watching one field while looking at there was a time where the defense for the number one defense, or how do I say this? Yeah, so the Dolphins defense and the Texans offense was working on this field, and then the other guys were working on the other field. So you're trying to watch everything going on, which is tough. But I saw Cater out there. Brandon Jones was working out on there's a third field where the guys who are hurt, I guess, they'll go out there.
Right.
So Brandon Jones was out there working. McDaniel was there. McDaniel looked great. You know, this is gonna be a good team. Like top to bottom, I'm bullish on the Dolphins this year. I really am. You can see the difference between the Texans and the Dolphins. It's not even.
Well, Texas, they got a really young team, right? I mean, they are young this year.
You got CJ Stroud, you got Will Anderson, Dolphin great Michael Dieter is now on the offensive line for them, which is a scary thought if you're a Dolphins fan. Laramie Tunsil looked good today, but you can just see it's so weird when you do these joint practices because you're not allowed to hit anybody.
Right.
So it's like they run these plays and everybody, jumps up and down about some of the catches. Tank Dell for the Texans, wide receiver from the University of Houston, who's going to be a stud. He had a couple nice touchdown passes today, but it's so different because you don't know what is actually happening on the play because you're not allowed
in the game.
Yeah, you're not allowed to tackle each other. So everyone's going crazy. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, guys, they had a sack like 5 minutes ago.
Right.
So it's very weird to watch these types of practice. It's the first one I've ever been to. Like if I lived in Miami, I would go to these all the time. So seeing them here, a little bit different, but it was really cool. I mean, you're 15 feet from these guys.
Yeah.
Chubb is oh my God. I mean, but everyone,
I think it's cool that a lot of Dolphin fans were out there in Houston, so that's pretty good. I mean,
there was
the Texans are relatively new, since the Oilers are gone. They don't have that long-term history, maybe, but still cool that a lot of Dolphin fans showed up.
There was a couple
I heard
Dolphin fans.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I heard there was at least 200-300 Dolphin fans there.
They were out there, man. I mean, you had Dan Marino shirts. You had a lot of Waddle. Tua looks great. I mean, and it's weird saying that because you see these videos that he's putting out. Like he did the one today. He's getting cocky a little bit, and he needs to be. They're like, okay, you guys think this is easy? Like, here's a play. Like, go ahead and recite it back to me. And he needs that. He needs a little bit of cockiness to his game, which I like because this is a huge year for him. I mean,
this is the prove-it year for sure. Yeah.
This is it. And they have gone all in on this roster. And if it doesn't work, it's going to be a problem. Now, you could look at this and you could say there's a lot of either you love Tua or you hate Tua. I love Tua. I don't know. I don't know if he makes it through the year. And if the Dolphins suck this year,
man,
potentially a number one pick, you're staring down Caleb Williams from USC.
Let me on
record saying he wants to be a Dolphin. I wouldn't hate that.
Well, let me ask you this, Mike. Why do you say that you hope he's? Why do you feel that he might get hurt this year? Do you feel that he's going to get hurt again this year?
It's football.
Well, I understand that, but I mean, is there something you're seeing that he's not doing or he's doing that might put him in harm's way?
Just from his
or the O-line, or maybe the O-line?
Unfortunately.
Well, here's the thing is I think with it's not even that I'm necessarily scared. It's look at what happened last year. He has a history of getting injured. Now, throughout the offseason, he's done everything you can do, taking up martial arts, he's learning how to fall. And the Dolphins have done him a disservice because they have given him crap running game since he's been a Dolphin. Who's the best running back that they've given him? I love Mostert. I like Jeff Wilson. Myles Gaskin is undersized, and they don't play Selvin Ahmad enough.
Yeah.
So you look at the best thing for Tua. The craziest thing about the Dolphins that I hear all the time, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, go get them as many yards as possible. I'm the opposite. Feed the damn ball to the running backs, establish the run, and then run to set up the pass. The Dolphins don't have that bell cow back. They didn't even do it with A-Chain. A-Chain is going to be special. But that's why a guy like a Dalvin Cook would have been so huge for this team, is because he's that bell cow back. Give it to him 30 times a game. Let your defense work with Fangio and stop putting so much of the burden on Tua.
Yeah.
And that goes
the ball 40 times.
And that goes for any quarterback, Mike, in my opinion.
100%.
Here's the thing. I was going to ask you or say. Uh, from what I understand, what I'm hearing, and I did see there were some folks. I know you're on the Miami Sports Music with TD Fins Talk and yourself, and both of you have I kind of see both of your point of views and everything. Were they, from what I understand, they were doing a lot of dink and dunk today. Is that true?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Durham Smythe had a 35-yard catch. There was multiple reports of deep balls to Tyreek Hill. Look, the best cornerback for the Texans is Derek Stingley. Stingley can't hold Tyreek Hill's jockstrap.
Nobody can. Not many corners can.
That's my point. And you talked about the O-line before. Here's the thing about the Dolphins O-line is that you can't fault them for what they've put into the offensive line. And what I mean by that is multiple first-round picks. You went out and signed Connor Williams to a 2-year, $18 million deal. You gave Teron Armstead a massive contract. What else do you want the Dolphins front office to do? Now, you can talk about talent evaluation, and that's a different story. But the assets that they have put into this team, Stephen Ross doesn't get talked about enough. The money that he's had to shell out this offseason in signing bonuses and restructuring of deals to bring in a Jalen Ramsey. David Long looked great today. The Chubb deal, like all of these deals, Dolphin fans are the most spoiled group of fans I have ever seen in my life. Like they think that the sky is falling every day. I'm like, we just went to the playoffs and nearly beat Buffalo on the road with a third string quarterback.
Right. No,
what do you have to complain about, Dolphin fans? I get it. We want to win a playoff game. I get it. I understand that. This is the second year of McDaniel. He just went to the playoffs. Like, I don't know what else Dolphin fan wants at this point.
Super Bowl.
Like you said, I think a playoff win, Steve, if the Super Bowl under his breath comment. But that's it. Only a Super Bowl. That's all we expect, Mike. Anyway, before I get Cap for Life and Papa Paul, thank you as always for coming in here. Fins up to you guys. Don't forget to give me a fins up and a thumbs up while you're in here. Thank you. So, Steve, you get some pointers for tomorrow. What are you going to look at when you go out there tomorrow? Do you know what your plan is?
Look, I know it would be a disservice to the fans if I was to, try and look at both defense and offense playing at the same time. It's impossible, like Mike was saying. I'm going to concentrate on the offense. I'm going to look more so with the offensive line, and I'm going to look. We already know what Tyreek can do. We know what Waddle can do. Of course, he's hurt, but we know what Waddle can do. We know what Chosen can do. We know what those guys can do. I want to see Tua. I want to see what he does in his progressions. I want to see if he's a lot. I'm hearing a lot of stuff that he's doing a lot of the same stuff, bad habits that he did last year, holding the ball a little too much, manipulating the cornerback and then just throwing the ball, even if the guy's not there, he's not open. That I don't want to see. So I know that's what I want to look at. I want to look at Tua and I want to look at the offensive line because we know that our receivers can get open. All right. And I want to see what our running back core can do. And I know they haven't been running a lot, but I want to see what I want to see this year as a whole of this team is I want to see you want to take pressure off Tua. Yes. Run the ball, have a more balanced attack if possible. I don't know if Mike McDaniel is going to do that or not, but if you don't do that, then put Tua in a position that he's great at, that he's good at. You know what that is? He's a master dinking and dunking. The 5 and 10 and 15-yard passes. He's a master of that. Get him throwing some more of that, and then keep that defense honest, and then go for the big one.
No, I know. That's a combination. That's what I would say. And in fairness to him, supposedly that one throw today that he did the pick six that closed out the practice, basically, he said that he was told he had to throw there, that this side's not open, you got to throw it out there. And basically, so that was a setup. And he admitted he should have just chucked it away and ended it with a chuck away. That's the one thing with Tua, because he's so competitive that he always wants to make a play every single time. That's what got him hurt in Cincinnati. Instead of just realizing nothing's there and circling around back into the danger zone. Sometimes a play's just not there. That's what was good about Dan Marino. He would chuck it away if he knew he was, there was nothing there.
That's what I want to see too. Good point, Rob.
What you have to do is live to see another play. So sometimes to his own detriment because, in Alabama, he got spoiled because for some time Alabama playing against the Sisters of the Poor, so he's able to make those throws. In the NFL, it's a very thin line from a great throw to a pick going the other way, So it's like sometimes I just think he tries too hard to make a play. And before you guys comment, let me introduce Papa Paul. I know you're busy today. You have your show on your network coming up next, and I will be watching that. But welcome, Papa Paul.
Thank you.
How's it going, Papa Paul? Good to see you, brother.
How you doing, guys?
Yeah, we're good. Mike was out at the practice today. Steve, they're both out in Houston, and Steve's going tomorrow. So, they were out there. Just like you and I went to some of the South Florida practices here. They're hitting up the Houston practices. So what do you think of what you've seen and heard so far this preseason, Paul? Because you've been around a long time rooting for the Dolphins.
It's I agree with Mike on how crazy the fans get over nothing. It's you hear it's just practice. Well, it's practice. They should be their practice makes perfect. Da, da, da. Just give it a break. They're trying things out. Practice is to try new things out. See what's going to work, what's going to not work, and also to see who really wants to play, because the preseason games is really to figure out who are they going to end up keeping.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point.
I agree. We got Cap for Life in the background too, but anything you want to say before we introduce the great Cap for Life and get his thoughts? Okay, here we go. Hey, Cap, how are you, Cap?
I'll be at the next two open camps in Miami next week, and then I will be at the Jacksonville game right behind the Miami Dolphins bench.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's cool. That's
nice.
Cool. Yeah, you're on the west coast of Florida, right, Papa Paul? You're over there somewhere.
Yes, sir. Just north of Tampa.
Yeah, that's where your West Coast Dolphin big hit. Yeah. But hey,
Jacksonville is actually Tampa is close to me, but I'm an hour from Tampa, but I'm only just over 2 hours from Jacksonville. But I'm a diehard Dolphins, and I drive, anywhere from 4.5 to 5.5 hours every game.
So you're in Central Florida.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
On the west coast.
Mm-hmm.
So, Cap, are you in here?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Hey,
it's all
Cap.
Good. How are you, Cap?
Hanging in there, man. Just it's been a whirlwind couple of days, to say the least, guys.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like I said, Christian Wilkins, like I said, he's doing the right thing. He's letting them know he wants the money, but he didn't walk out. He's with them in there in Houston, cheering on the guys. It's time for the Dolphins to step up to plate and pay the man, because he's not only is his production on the field really good, he's a leader. The guys love him. He's a motivator. Dolphins score on a touchdown on offense. He's one of the first guys down there celebrating. And he's just a guy you want on the team, man, because if they all played like Christian Wilkins, we would be winning playoff games, every year. Yes.
I got a question on that. Who's the source that Christian Wilkins is holding out for the contract right now?
Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel said he was.
I did not hear any. That's why I was asking. I did not hear any of that.
Yeah, he had a press conference.
It's also his agent. His
agent too, yeah.
Because
he's there with the team, right? So
I did not hear that. I asked before in other shows on. I asked other people, and no one seemed to know.
It's technically a hold in, not a holdout.
Hold in.
Yeah, hold in.
Because
I was
going to say, he's not really holding out. He could be just taking a day off like some of the other players do and stuff that are veterans. And
he's definitely holding out.
He was confirmed today.
Yeah, holding in because he's there and he's with the guys. But I think the reason why he hasn't signed yet, and I think a lot of Dolphin fans are missing the bigger picture here, is when you sign him, what does that mean for the rest of the roster?
Exactly.
If you look at the deal that Jonathan Simmons got in Tennessee, this is not cheap. Like, to sign one of these guys is not going to be cheap. Wilkins is going to cost north of $80 million. And when you do that, you're going to talk about losing guys like Sealer's going to be gone. Are you ready to walk away from Jerome Baker? You're going to have to keep money for Tua, and you're going to have to keep money within the next year or two for Jalen Waddle.
Well, that's where
and Phillips
Greer's going to have to do his mastery of contracting.
Well, my thing is, I mean, if you're going to franchise tag him, if worse comes to worse and he decides to do some move like that and you have the arsenal of the franchise, I mean, isn't the franchise tag almost in the 20s?
Yeah, it's basically 20.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like 20 something actually, or something right up there at 20.
So I don't really think they want to franchise him. I think they want to have some flexibility to make a move, like Mike's saying. Maybe you might have some type of move, to make a run, a real type of move. But I mean, you're looking at 20, and I mean, a lot of these guys, like the DeForest Buckner and everybody else, all these guys are like in the mid-20s. Chris Jones is asking for almost 30. I mean, he's not even. I like Wilkins. I think he's helping us, to be honest with you, because he would be holding out. He wouldn't even be here. But are you willing to pay that much in the future if he does help us out now?
Well, here's the thing, Cap. That's the thing. Chris Greer is not going to pay him 22, 23, or 21. I don't think he will. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. I think he's willing to give him 18, maybe 19 tops. And that's where the standstill is, I think. Now, and I'm just gonna call it. If they don't sign him by next week, by the next practices and preseason game, I think they're gonna shop him, because right now he's the only guy that's gonna give us the capital, that we could use for next year, because we don't
transition
know.
Tagging.
Yeah, well,
transition tag. You get what? You get picks back.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
They can't afford it. They can't afford it. They can't do it.
Yeah, because the transition tag, I think you get back value, but I think it's like first round pick type of value. It has to be value for value type of deal, I guess.
Trading.
So I think that's out of the question.
You're right. I'm not Mr. Cap expert. No, it's Cap for life. I'm not Mr. Cap. I'm knowing what tags. I know the franchise tag is the one that you definitely have the right to match, or you get picks back. The first round picks back, but I'm not sure about some of those other transition picks that you're talking about.
What were you saying, Mike?
Well, you can't afford to trade Christian Wilkins, because he's done everything you have asked him to do. He came in, shut his mouth.
I agree.
Called out. And what are you saying to the rest of your locker room to trade the guy? I mean, he's funny guy. He's the leader. He's the culture setter. Even seeing it today, he's right there. Like, he's right there with everybody. Mm-hmm. Everybody, he's a magnet for this roster. What are you telling the rest of your guys, like a Jalen Waddle? Because he's doing what he's balling out too. Are you going to treat him the same way? Where you're going to say, this isn't Major League Baseball like the Astros, to change sports, where the Astros can just replace these guys with other guys in their farm system. The Dolphins draft these guys. They develop these guys. You have to reward them when they do well. And the baseline is there. Give him the 4 years, $100 million, $80 million guaranteed, and let's all move on with our lives. And then we can start to develop the rest. Get rid of Cedric Wilson. He's useless. There's $8 million.
Get the trade partner for him.
Ogba too. Ogba has been doing
I don't think Mike's too far-fetched. I mean, the only way to meet expectations for what he wants is you got to cut ties with, salary cap casualties that cost, there's guys out there that are taking $3 million hits at least if the cap comes right and you cut the right guys. Like, you're going to have a good saving, but who are you willing to cut?
Ogba's the one guy I look at, him and Baker. It's risky, but if you cut Baker and you cut Ogba, you're going to save $20 million, almost $20 million.
And then I know Cross in the Keon Cross. He's another guy that's like $2 million off the books. Yeah, but you do need some of these. It's a tough decision because you're all in for this year, so you keep him this year at the risk of losing him next year in free agency. But you're all in this year to try to win, and then worry about next year. You worry about next year, because signing him to an extension, they say, would actually free up money right now for this year in the cap. But then next year, it would be him in a bigger bind than you already are going into it. And that's what happens, when you sign and trade for a Bradley Chubb and you give him the bag of money right away from outside the organization. You bring him in, give up the first round pick for him, and you give him the bag of money to make him happy, and to make the trade worthwhile, or you would have blown it and you would have walked in free agency. Tyreek Hill, same thing. He's been great, but you had to give him the bag of money from day one. So when you do big moves like that, you sometimes end up, unfortunately, losing your homegrown guys. So, Paul, if you have anything to chime in, I saw you wanted to say something, Paul.
Well, no, there's plenty of ways to make room to get rid of these guys. Yeah, there's a couple of guys, and I can't think of them right offhand, that can free up 20, 30 million that aren't, they're not doing what they should be doing and stuff. They aren't what we had. And the thing is, Greer is not going to get rid of Wilkins, because Wilkins was his first major pick from the draft.
When he was the GM, when we all knew he was the GM.
Yes.
Right.
Instead of just floating around, and because before he became the real GM, he had the second or third decision of whether he yay or nay or stuff.
Right, because if Adam Gase supposedly had the first say of who was. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was like a big debate today, Thirsty, and Papa was on one of the panels. And my main thing was, I mean, we're trying to say that he took over a football operations 2016, but he started making picks in 2019, which I don't agree with. I think he takes responsibility for Charles Harris and for Minkah Fitzpatrick, if I'm not mistaken. They want to give that to Tannenbaum. Tannenbaum wasn't even the GM when Minkah Fitzpatrick got drafted, but that's neither here or there. My issue is I've never seen a team give a free pass to a general manager for more than 6 years. And that's the case we're going into right now with this team. We're pretty much going into, hell, not the 7-year Tannehill plan with the quarterback. We're going into almost a 7-year Tannehill plan with the GM at this point.
I'm not a big fan of Greer.
Yeah, but
why do you think we're giving him a pass? You don't like the job that he's done up till this point?
No, I'm saying to you, I mean, you name me a team that's in this day and age in football gives their GM 4 years or more without meeting expectations or going past the second round in the playoffs. You're not going to find one.
Well, yeah, I mean, has he even won a playoff game?
I mean, you want to give him last year? I mean, we just made it to the playoffs. We didn't even win.
No, I'm saying, did he even win a playoff game?
No, Steve, no, we haven't.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's 7 years almost, I'm counting, man. I'm not even considering 2016. I'll give you 2017, 2018, but that's still 5 years.
You don't think last year was a success for that roster?
No. 9-9?
No.
And I'm giving you 9-9. I can easily say 9-8.
Yeah, 9-8. Yeah, with the playoff loss. Yeah, no. For me, no, Mike, it wasn't either. I thought they should have had a little more success. Other than because they had a 5-game losing streak. Good teams shouldn't have and then the year before that, under another coach, we had 7-game losing streak. You can't have 7 and 5-game losing streaks during a season and expect to be competitive for top seeds and stuff. You got to avoid that. Just like you brought up baseball earlier, that's why you bring in an ace to close out a losing streak. So you just end the losing streak, and that's what the Dolphins need to avoid. They can't have a whole month where you don't win a football game. So
they also win a whole month without losing a football game too.
Hey, right. Color, get up here, Color.
No, that's fair.
You have the third string quarterback, and you take Buffalo down to the wire. I mean, what has Buffalo's GM done? In his five.
I know. I'm just talking about from the Miami perspective. You're 100% right. Buffalo, they should be. That guy needs to start being on the hot seat too eventually with what the moves they've made, and they have their quarterback for sure been able to stay healthy and all that good stuff.
Yeah, but let's be fair here. We're comparing AFC East title, which we haven't gotten, to AFC Championship that they've gotten to. It's like I hate the Bills, but let's call it fair.
But we're not talking about it. It's the same thing. Us and Buffalo won the same number of Super Bowls last year. So we're in the same
I get that. But I mean, they've done a lot in short amount of time in the past 4 years as opposed to what we've done. And I think that's a little bit concerning.
But they've done nothing. That's the thing. That's what I love, is that they've done nothing.
They got to the AFC Championship game. I'm still trying to sniff the second round.
So what?
We haven't won a playoff game in 20 years, so that's disappointing.
I'm just saying, I would like to feel that feeling of 13 seconds in the AFC Championship game.
I feel
I'm a little younger than Steve. Maybe younger than Steve. I'm not sure. Maybe same age group. I'm in my low 50s, so I'm not quite old enough to remember the Super Bowl championship teams. But I remember the Dolphins losing to the Washington Redskins, now the Commanders, and I remember the Super Bowl with Dan Marino against Joe Montana, and we lost that game. I remember them in my head yesterday. And I remember the commercial where Dan Marino says, "Next year, Joe, I'm buying," when they did the Diet Pepsi commercial. And that never came. And I thought I was like 14 years old or about maybe 15, and I thought for sure Dan Marino and the Dolphins. I mean, I took it back.
Hey, Thirsty, which is the one that he goes, I didn't flub. That wasn't a flub.
Yeah, no, yeah, I know. Yeah, it was like, I think it was that commercial. I don't know, but it was just, unfortunately, it's been way too long. And like, I think any of us would take the Eagles general manager over Greer in a minute, because they started their rebuild after being in a Super Bowl recently, got rid of coaches, started with new players, and they've already been back in it. Yeah, they lost, but they've already been back in the Super Bowl, and we're still like rebuilding, from scratch, it seems. So that's where I'm the only time I'm a little hard. I admit, Mike, I'm like you. I try to look at with the Dolphin color glasses 90% of the time. But Chris Greer is one guy that's on that thin line with me, because, yes, you and I could have traded for Tyreek Hill knowing he was going to come in and be a good player. I want him to draft players like this and find those studs more often, so we don't have to give him the big bag of money from day one. So any guys want to chime in? I got off my podium.
Well, it's your podium.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Man, yours, man.
And
It's
Bobby,
even more than that.
the links in there, guys. Bobby and Kohler, if you want to drop in and give your 2 cents.
What's up,
So,
Kohler? How you doing, brother? And Bobby Finch Talk is in here as well.
Yeah, and Bobby, we'll be streaming. Both of us are streaming Steve tomorrow, so no pressure, Steve. But you better come up with some good information while you're out there at the practice. You're on the Fins Talk Sports Network and Dolphin Thirsty. So.
Oh yeah, you'll get it. You'll get some good live coverage tomorrow. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
People sit here and it's 3 preseason games and they're expecting us to go 3-0. But how many times have a Super Bowl team that won the Super Bowl has gone 0-3 in preseason?
Well, Papa Paul. Look, I don't think it's a matter of we win these games because they're meaningless. Okay,
I agree.
And you said it. You said it earlier. What they're doing is they're evaluating the players that they're going to keep, and that's what we're doing right now. We're experimenting and evaluating the players that we want to keep. That's what we're looking at. The individual players. We're not looking at the wins. We don't care about the win loss and
no. But I was just saying, there's a lot of people that.
So that's a good point. But I'm saying you made a good point. About that's what we're doing is we're just evaluating and we're experimenting. And you're right. I remember when the 1972 Dolphins, they didn't do very well in the preseason games, but they went 17-0 that year.
Do you remember how many preseason games? Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
But do you know that when you go count the preseason games and all the way to the Super Bowl, there's the same amount of games back then as there is right now.
Yeah.
Right.
And they used to play in those preseason games. It wasn't like you sit down and all of that.
Oh no, man! They played the first team that 2-3 quarters sometimes.
The 72 Dolphins went 3-3 that year.
Yeah. Exactly.
Nope, exactly. So that's why I say it's crazy. And then most of my childhood, it was 4 preseason games, and most of my adult life until the past couple of years, it's been 4 preseason games, and they just went to the 3. Who knows? Eventually, it'd be 2 or 1 before you know it.
Well,
so
they're liable to go to 18 regular season games just to even it out more. So there's 9 home, 9 away instead of alternating every year.
Right. No, I agree, man. So, has your record prediction? I think you're on the same boat when we all did our predictions, Paul. You said 11-6. So I
said 12-5.
Oh, 12-5. Okay.
Back in March, really, I said 12-5 with at least 2 playoff wins.
Okay.
Ooh, man, that would be great.
Love that.
Man, that would be
wonderful. That has not changed one bit on me. I was asked that earlier, and that has not changed one bit on me. I'm sticking with it.
I love that.
I love what I've seen in the defense, even though they're not even showing one half of what they are doing inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree. So either Mike or Cap, whoever wants to chime in, what's your guys' record prediction?
I'm gonna go 10-7.
10-7.
I think the team is really good. I want to touch on, and I got a jet after this. I got a call I got to make. But what I will say is, right now is the time that they need to use for guys like Aubrey Miller, because I saw Aubrey Miller today. That's what this preseason should be all about for the Dolphins, is identifying guys that they can save money on. A guy like Jerome Baker, who is making $8 million a year, or is making $8 million a year, replace him with maybe not as good a player, but does enough to then take that money and spend it elsewhere.
Right.
Bingo.
I think the team is going to be good. I think they're in, honestly, the second toughest division in football this year. I think the division is going to be tough, literally top to bottom. When you talk about the Jets, you talk about the Bills, you talk about the Patriots. The Patriots they're never an easy out because they're coached by Belichick, who I think is, without Brady and without Gronkowski, has come down to earth a little bit. He's still Belichick.
Still Belichick, yep.
I've been impressed by some of our UDFAs.
100%. Aubrey Miller looks the part. He didn't play enough today. I didn't see enough, but he's right there, and he's got that perfect build for a linebacker. You know what I mean? And a guy like David Long, too.
You got Paley, or however you say his last name.
Brandon Paley. You said it right.
Palai, I think. This team's going to go as Tua goes. If Tua is healthy, they're going to win 10 to 12 games because they are that good. And I think Devin Achane, I'm telling you guys, is Darren Sproles. I think he's got a little bit more game than Darren Sproles.
Well, I already stated a few months back that, or at least 2 months back, that he's going to be in the running for OR Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
The kid can move.
I agree with you.
But I tell you, someone to look at also, need to keep a close eye on is Chris Brooks.
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree, Papa Paul. Yeah.
But I think this year, this year they're going to move McDaniel in that second year of that offense. It's going to get better. And Fangio is the biggest pickup of the offseason, and it's not even close. Fangio is going to have so many teams confused. They're not going to know what the hell to do. But, hey, guys, I appreciate y'all having me on.
Mike, don't forget to give us a thumbs up on your way out when you go.
Hey, Mike, thanks a lot, man, for joining us tonight, brother.
Mike. We give you a thumbs up.
Thank y'all so much for having me, y'all.
I got a show later tonight, Mike, at 8:45.
I'm there.
All right, guys. Yeah, he's good. You know where to find him. All right, let me real quick. I'm going to bring Anthony in. We got someone else that chimed in. But, Anthony, before you – I lost him. Let's see. Anthony, before you chime in, welcome, Anthony. But so, Paul, I'm happy to say your Jalen Ramsey getting hurt didn't affect your overall. That's the main.
No, we didn't have him last year, and we were a top 15 defense.
Right.
This year, we're going to be a top 10, if not a top 5 defense, even without him. No, but I do feel he's going to be back. I feel he's going to be back in time for the Germany game.
Yeah. When is that?
Oh, that would be
November 9th.
That would really
November
shock.
9th?
That would really, because everyone's saying December and whatever. So that would really that would be awesome.
Well, he's had a similar procedure done before, and they told him 6 to 8 weeks, and he was back in 3.
Well, I know he's missed very little time over his years, so I hope you are 100% right, and that's what I'm wanting. So, Anthony, we're almost at the end of the show, but thank you for joining us right here. How are you, Anthony?
Hey, I wanted to put Michael said something earlier. I completely forgot what he said. It was something about the Patriots. I understand it's Bill Belichick, but we're giving way too much respect to him. I understand it's Belichick, but that team is in a rebuild mode. You're giving way too much faith in them, putting way too much faith in Belichick to take a team that has barely any weapons on that team to the playoffs.
Right,
with a quarterback that their own fan base doesn't even
He
like.
wasn't saying that. He just said they're not an easy out. It's not like when the Patriots were winning the division every year and they were playing.
No,
really
but
bad.
I'm still saying that's too much faith. I understand it's Belichick, but football fans and the media put way too much faith in Belichick, not realizing that team's in rebuild mode, basically.
I agree.
Last year, they're a very competitive football team. I mean, we're just saying they're not a patsy that you're just going to speak.
No, I'm not saying they're a patsy. I'm just saying we have too much faith in Belichick, thinking he's going to beat us this year.
Oh no,
no one said that though.
Right.
No, I'm not talking about you guys. I'm saying in general, fans think Belichick is just going to run over us.
Yeah,
no, I haven't heard that at all.
Well, I will say this, Anthony. You got a good point in this respect. The New England Patriots do have a very good defense, and they always play us tough. It's an interconference game, so it's always they know us. So
Right,
it is going to
because
be
even-
a tough game
Well,
for
that's
sure.
anybody in your own conference, or especially anybody in your own division.
Right.
They always play
Yes.
each other 10 times harder.
Of course, look at
Exactly.
Miami.
I
Like
agree.
New England was one a dynasty, and we still gave them a loss almost every year. You know, we would get them that
Yeah,
one
no,
game.
and honestly, the prediction for me, like, I think Jalen's gay. I'm saying this, Paul. You have too much faith in the recovery. He's an older player. He's around the same age as X and
Who's
stuff like
that?
that. So
Who's that?
Jalen Ramsey. But
Oh, Jalen
if
Ramsey.
You,
Right.
if you haven't noticed and seen what he's been doing, he's already like a week or two ahead of schedule as far as recovery.
yeah, but still, but I'm talking. He's not going to be in full like what he's going to be. He might come back like you said, but for me, for him to catch up, it's going to take him like 2 or 3 more weeks because the corner position is one of the harder positions after an injury to like get into game shape. Do you guys agree?
Oh, yeah.
I will just agree to disagree on his recovery time, though.
Well, and
I'm
No,
not saying I'm not
I
saying
agree.
it's-
I agree with Anthony in that respect that it does take a couple, 2,
Yes.
3 weeks before they can get back into
I
football shape.
understand,
I agree with him on
but
that.
you heard it from Ramsey's own mouth that he said, you give me the time frame and I'll be back a month sooner. And November 9th would be a month sooner.
Man, I hope
Yeah.
so. I hope that's the case. I really do. But
Yeah, and-
I'm with you, Papa Paul. I mean, I know we lost Jalen Ramsey, and he's probably going to be a great asset to this team, and he's going to help out X a lot, and all the other players. He's doing it
Yeah.
now. You see it.
Oh
He's
yeah.
doing it now in practices when he goes and he's talking to these young guys and everything. But losing Ramsey, I think, is not going to make or break a Fangio defense.
No, it's not. You've seen so many people crying and over spilt milk, basically.
right.
And
The safety
we-
position to me is a more important position in this defense, not the core. People overhype the injury, like worry too much about the corner injuries. He doesn't really. I'm not saying he doesn't care about the corner position, but he doesn't utilize it like other defenses do. He utilizes the safeties a lot more than the corners.
Yeah.
With his defenses and stuff like
Oh.
that. So
Yeah.
we need to calm down. I
Well,
agree with Paul. The injury is. I'm not worried about the injury. It's just fans overreact over everything. We're
Oh, that's
fans.
what fans. That's
no,
why
no
fans
doubt.
come
That's
to
why we're
fanatics.
fans.
Yeah.
We need.
But-
Is there such a
Anyway.
thing as being rational fans?
Yeah,
No.
there's really no rational fans in any fan base. We just pay attention to the Dolphin fan base. But if you listen to any fan base, and speaking of fan base, I know, Paul, you have to get out of here soon. You got a show coming up. How can people find you tonight following us on your network?
I'm on YouTube. Just look up WCFL West Coast or WCFL Dolphins Talk.
Okay.
I'm
And you got a
on
show
Twitter.
coming up like 8:45 or 8:30 tonight, right?
8:45.
That's what I thought. I'd be watching,
Yeah.
so I
Then
could-
we're on Twitter as well as on the club page.
on Facebook.
Can you drop your link in the chat so I can subscribe to it, Paul?
Yeah, let me see. Pull it
Yeah,
up.
I've caught your show a few times, Papa Paul. I haven't made a lot of comments, but or any, but you have a really good show, and I think all if you're a true Doll fan, you need to watch that show. It's a really good show. I like it.
Our show is. We are a fan-based show. We look for the fans
Right.
to come, and that's all we want. You know, we'll
So,
invite the
you're like me.
fans.
That's what I want.
We'll trying to there. Here we go.
No problem, bro.
We want,
DJ Live's another good Dolphin fan right there, guys. Check out his just adding E onto his name.
DJ Live.
Another good guy. I was hoping to have him on tonight. Didn't work out, but we're gonna have him on again soon.
Yeah, I just posted the link.
We
in
have
the
a lot of
private
good
chat.
content creators.
All
I
right.
posted the
Hey,
link in the private chat, Anthony.
All right. You can
Okay.
post it in your regular. I don't mind.
I'm not.
That's
It's
fine.
not connected for.
Oh, okay. But it's in the private
don't
chat,
understand.
Anthony. Go
Yeah.
check it out. Anthony in the private
Um,
chat.
we
I already
we
see
talk,
you got a
we
message.
talk. I mean, we talk majority Dolphin stuff, but we bounce around on things. Sometimes personal things, and my
Mhm.
charity-based organization we talk about too.
Oh, thank you. Talking about charity, guys. I'm going to be walking in the Dolphin Walk this year to the Dolphins Cancer Challenge.
I am too.
Yeah. Oh, and him too. So, like you guys, every
All
penny
right.
goes to the
Nice.
cause.
Awesome.
I won't be
I-
buying a Bentley with the money, guys. It all goes to the cause. This is for the Miami Dolphins, challenge cancer, which is always one of the biggest, not one of the biggest donations in the in the NFL every year. One of the biggest charitable events. It's a good cause. Hopefully, Papa Paul, I'll be out there. I'm walking on Big E's team this year.
Okay,
So,
I made my own team just to get the charity name out there,
no, that's
and
smart.
I am just. I'll be lucky to finish it though, the way I've been going, because I'm still recovering from surgeries and things like that. And
No, I hear you, my friend. I hear you. But
It's been
hopefully
bad.
you come down and at least we get to see each other. I'll be at some of the games,
Well,
of course, this year
I-
too. But
well,
gotta
are
say-
you going to be at Fan Club Weekend?
who, me?
Any
When's
of-
your fan club weekend?
The Fan Club Weekend is October 13th, 14th, 15th.
Okay,
The
where do you
15th.
have it at?
It's going to be right there in Miami. The Fan Club Weekend is for all the fan clubs, for worldwide fan clubs.
Okay, for sure.
I'll try and share some of the information with you. If you know Mark Angelo, he's in charge of it.
Okay, cool.
But the 14th is a Saturday, and that's where we get together at Bow Campers in Fort Lauderdale. And I have a
Okay.
big raffle and everything. But that morning on the 14th, I am actually doing a 2-mile walk for polycystic kidney disease research.
Wow. Nice.
Well, thank you,
Hey,
man.
I appreciate both of you guys, what you're doing. I had a sister died at ripe young age of 48 years old who died of cancer. So I appreciate what you guys are doing. Thank you.
Thank you, man. And like I said, I know
No,
you got to get out of here, Steve. I will come. I mean, Paul, I will be in your show in a few minutes because I got to do a couple things first, and then I'll be watching
understand.
you guys. Yeah.
I'll talk to y'all later. You have a good night. Appreciate
All right.
you very much and all you do.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Paul.
thank you,
Thanks for
man.
joining
All
us,
right.
brother.
Peace, love, and
All
fins
right.
up.
Fins up. Fins up.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
brother.
Yeah. Well, Steve, I know you got to get some rest because you're going to be out there early tomorrow
Yes, sir.
morning.
Yes,
we
sir.
have to take a wrap on this. Guys, I'm the worst promoter in the world, but if you are still in here and you've watched us, please give us a fins up, thumbs up, and if you're brand new to the channel, tackle that subscribe button for me because I'm like Paul. I'm just here to talk Dolphins with fellow Miami Dolphin fans. Tomorrow on this very network and the Fins Talk Sports Network, we will be. Oops, Anthony's coming in one more time. You let him get
Sorry,
his-
my streamers kicked me out for some reason.
No
I
problem. We're
apologize.
almost wrapping it up. We're gonna. Hey, Anthony, if you're in the morning, you can join this network or the Fins Talk Sports
Yeah.
Network. We're gonna be streaming on both
No, and
channels.
Steve,
Yes, sir.
Of the reports I've been hearing about Cam Smith,
Mhm.
the reporters are saying the what's it called? The coaches are surprised that Cam Smith has been able to pick up this playbook as fast as he has. Like they're
Mhm.
surprised he's performing this well this quickly, like picking up the playbook.
Yeah, I've heard
in terms
that
of
too.
understanding the coverages, which
Right.
it takes a while for a corner
Sure.
or a safety to pick up coverages,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
general?
No doubt. No doubt.
No, I agree.
But right now, I think the injury has put him behind a little bit as far as getting reps and playing. Right now, Igbo has been playing really well. I mean, this defense really fits him really great, and I think right now it's believe it or not, it's his job to lose.
Yeah, and I've said that for me, I've said this since we drafted Iggy,
Mhm.
that just because he played man-to-man defense in college doesn't mean that skill set translates to the NFL. Maybe he's a better zone corner in the NFL
Yeah.
than a man corner because
Yeah.
man corners you mentally for man-to-man, do you have to know more stuff mentally, or is it the other way around? For zone defense, you have to know more stuff mentally.
No, the zone you definitely, because there's so many different assignments, and if you do yours wrong, it blows the whole coverage for the whole team. So, and then sometimes it makes another person.
No, but it seems like he's picking up this defense a little bit quicker than the man-to-man defense. Those man-to-man schemes that Flores and what's his face were running. Damn it, the guy we hated, the defensive coordinator,
Josh Boyer.
Boyer. Yeah.
Oh, DG, come on, come with some positive, DG. I'm just teasing. He's always positive, but I'm
he's got a point. He's got a great point. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, I know. But, until proven otherwise, right? That's
right.
It.
Yeah.
And again, guys,
he's not getting hit until the bullets are firing at you. Is not. That's when I know you've improved and stuff like that. Until the bullets are firing against, like, even in the preseason games, you're not really getting a lot of very physical, really, right? In preseason games, usually they're not very physical or
well, I don't know about the preseason
vanilla
games, but I would say the joint
some of those
practice
guys are going all out. It's very vanilla, yes, but they all go out or they're going to get hurt out there because you're going to have rookies trying to make the darn team, and you're going to get your block cleaned if you're not out there all.
Are you doing another show later tonight, Steve, by chance?
No, I'm not doing a show tonight.
Or are you going to jump on another panel, I'm saying?
No. I'm going to go to sleep because I've got.
Oh, you have to work tomorrow?
No, I have to get up. I've got to get up early in the morning.
Join our shows join my network or the Fins Talk Sports Network 10 a.m. tomorrow. Steve is going to try to do. I'm not calling it play-by-play because that might be kind of hard to do, but he's going to give live updates from the. He's saying play-by-play, but I know it might be tough.
See you guys later. See you tomorrow, Rob.
All right, Anthony.
Thank you, Anthony.
Join in tomorrow.
Appreciate you.
Now we can wrap up. See, you are always thank you. And DG Live, he has great stuff. Kohler commentary, you can find him on the Fins Tailgate. I don't know if there's another word in there. Maybe I always go to their shows. What's your word? Is Fins Tailgate? It's Fins Tailgate. I think I'm missing a word.
That's good.
Okay, Fins Tailgate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there you go. Fins Tailgate. Always brings good stuff. I like their stuff over there. I hope one day to be on one of their shows when they open it. There, I knew I was missing. It's the Fins Tailgate or something. Yeah, there you go. So there you go. Good channel. Most of you guys probably subscribed to it already. They're way ahead of the game than I am, but we're just getting going in the ocean of a lot of Dolphin content out there. But I'm here to have fun. And I know, Steve, go get some rest so you kick butt tomorrow when you're out there visiting.
Can't wait.
Yeah, get there early and
yes,
get that spot, and try to get some love out there. So, Steve, thank you as always.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
Please, that thumbs up. I appreciate it because we do this for you guys because you guys are the best. You're the only reason we're here. So, thank you guys. All right, Steve. So, I'm going to give the famous Dolphins Thirsty song unless you have something else to say.
No, I don't. I mean, I'm just going to go to sleep now. I'm going to get my rest. I know it's going to be a big day tomorrow for me. It's going to be hot, real hot.
Take plenty of water. You can probably take in water as long as the seals. If it's a broken seal, sometimes they won't let you go. But if it's a closed up bottle, they should let you in. At least that's how it is at the Dolphins facility.
I've been trying to hydrate tonight, so that should help as well.
Yeah. Keep it up going. All right, guys. Steve, we're going to end with your trademark saying that you always close out the show by, so let's do it.
Absolutely. Remember, Dolphins number one, baby!
Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what.